and became the work can help.
The first batch of corporate earnings is out, but where are the profits? 401ks get KO'd. What can you do about yours? And new technology brings Big Brother closer to you. Hello, I'm Consuelo Mack. We'll have those stories plus the investment pick of the week on this edition of the Wall Street Journal Report. Just how bad is business? Well, once again, a string of companies is reporting dismal results, this time for the quarter just finished. Among the casualties of the weak business climate, Emerson Electric, the electronic products company, announced it will suffer its first earnings decline in 43 years this year. Fiber optics giant Corning announced more layoffs and plant closings and said it will stop paying a dividend for the first time since 1945. And citing the spreading global slowdown, PC maker Compaq also announced a new round of job cuts and said sales and earnings will come in below already reduced estimates. Now, those bleak results sent the Nasdaq below the 2,000 level for the first time in 3 months on Tuesday before some much welcome upbeat news turned things around. And it took the combined clout of two of the world's most valuable companies to do it. Microsoft announced its sales for the quarter would be stronger than expected, and General Electric announced yet another period of record profits. According to widely respected market strategist Abby Joseph Cohen, the diverse results reflect the diversity of the huge U.S. economy.
I think it's a mistake to think that we're going to see all industries seeing their bottoms and seeing a reacceleration at the same time. But there are now some industries indicating that things are stabilizing and improving. And over the next few months, we think more and more industries will be moving into that category.
And Cohen, who predicted the market had seen its bottom back in April, also expects stock prices to show more improvement. She predicts the Dow will end the year at 12,500 and nearly 20% gain from here. In the meantime, dozens of well-known companies will be reporting their earnings next week. Among the ones investors are focusing on to see if there are any signs of improvement are Citigroup, General Motors, AOL Time Warner, IBM, and Johnson & Johnson. Well, another hot topic on Wall Street is whether or not analysts should own shares of the stocks they cover. This week, the nation's biggest brokerage firm decided they should not. Merrill Lynch took the bull by the horns and became the first major investment firm to bar its 600 analysts around the world and their families from buying stocks in the companies they follow. And if the analysts already own the shares, they must disclose it. Now, many observers say this is a good first step, but it doesn't go far enough.
However, it doesn't address the biggest conflict of interest on Wall Street, and that is analysts issuing very glowing reports about companies to help their investment banking partners win lucrative fees for taking them public or doing bond offerings. And until Wall Street finds some way to address that issue, there is going to be an inherent conflict of interest between what analysts are doing and the interests of investors.
Ingrassia expects other firms will follow Merrill's lead, but he says don't expect the investment banking conflict to be resolved anytime soon. Several developments this week may change the way you get health care and prescription drugs. President Bush introduced a drug discount plan for older Americans. As early as this year, the nation's 39 million Medicare patients should be able to buy discount cards from companies that manage drug benefits. The cards are expected to cost $1 or $2 a month. And patients should be able to use those cards at any pharmacy to purchase their medicine at a reduced rate. And the U.S. House voted to make it legal for Americans to import prescription drugs, which are often cheaper outside the U.S. than they are here. Now, you might remember a few weeks ago we introduced you to Graham and Norma Hay, who saved hundreds of dollars by buying the cholesterol drug Lipitor from a web-based Canadian pharmacy. Well, if the House vote is upheld by the Senate and the President, it will be legal for the Hays and all Americans to buy up to a 60-day supply of medicine for personal use from overseas. And finally, one of California's largest HMOs is scrapping a system that rewarded physicians for controlling costs and will instead link their compensation to patient satisfaction. Under the plan, Blue Cross of California will survey about 10% of its approximately 2 million members each year. Up to 10% of a physician's compensation will be based on patient satisfaction and the effectiveness of the treatment. Well, what impact could these developments have on the healthcare industry and patients? Joining us is Linda Miller. She is portfolio manager of the John Hancock Health Sciences Fund. Linda, nice to see you.
Thanks very much. Nice to be with you.
Linda, are lower drug prices in our future?
I think they are, and I think for millions of Americans, they're already here. Many people already have drug cards from their employers. Now what we're doing is opening the floodgates to the 800-pound gorilla, which is the Medicare buying population. The elderly now may have the same opportunities as many of the rest of us have had for the past several years.
Now, the Medicare drug discount plan that President Bush has introduced relies heavily on the private sector. Will it work?
I hope it works, and I hope it works a lot better than if we add a lot of federal bureaucracy to make it work. Again, there are millions of cards in existence. Almost all patients or individuals who are covered under health plans from their employers have these sorts of cards, and I think that there's an opportunity to expand them to the most heavy drug-using segment of the population, that is the elderly.
Okay. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the drug importation law that the House passed this week. What is the controversy all about?
Well, the public policy controversy is that those drugs will not be regulated. The Food and Drug Administration, which signs off on the safety and effectiveness of all drugs that are marketed in the United States, will not have the responsibility to sign off on those drugs that are manufactured and sold outside the United States. So it will have to be the buyer beware for those who will want to buy their drugs over the internet.
What do you know about the likelihood of that, the drug importation law being enacted?
I think there's a long shot of that law being enacted. It's clearly important to some of the individuals in the border states who can cross over the border to buy their drugs elsewhere. But again, I do think there's really just a marginal impact here because, again, most people will want the drugs that they know are safe, that they know are effective, and especially those very potent medications that are taken or those chronic care medications that you take for years. I think people will be hesitant to buy them over the internet.
What will the impact of this movement towards lower drug prices be on the drug companies themselves?
Right. I think if you look in the rearview mirror, what we've seen is that lower drug prices actually do go hand in hand with broader access and broader utilization of drugs. And I think that's what the drug companies are hoping will be the trade-off, that, again, lower prices and greater access will mean that more people will be buying drugs. They'll give a little bit on the pricing, but they'll get more volume in response to that. Again, I think that is a somewhat controversial view, and I think the industry is divided on that. The clear beneficiaries, of course, will be the generic drug companies, and as well those pharmacy benefit managers who will be providing the services that enable that access.
All right, we'll leave it there. Linda Miller, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Thank you. Linda Miller is from John Hancock Health Sciences Fund. And a little later in the show, the investment pick of the week. This week's fund manager says you can bank on this one. And next, Big Brother may be watching you.
Police wouldn't be allowed to conduct this kind of mass identification on the streets using their hands or their eyes.
Find out who is watching you, why they are, and if it's legal next.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running
Today,
wild.
companies are struggling with the complexities of the net, trying to make intranets, extranets, the internet, and multiple software platforms work together, simply and securely, as one net. Well, now they can. With Net Services software from Novell. The power to change.
This is the mark of affordable luxury. This is Buick's Great Summer Drive Away, the year-end event that makes Buick luxury even more affordable with closeout cash back on every new 2001 Buick, $2,000 on Century, Regal, and LeSabre, $3,500 on Park Avenue Ultra. Great deals, so hurry in for best selection. The Great Summer Drive Away, and test drive your all-new 2002 Rendezvous. At your Buick dealer, it's all good.
I can't get enough of you, baby.
Come name your own price. The final days. Woodworks Northwest is quitting business forever. There's no time left, so come name your own price on over $1 million in better quality furniture. Have the furniture you've always wanted. Just name your own price. No reasonable offer will be refused. Everything must go immediately, regardless of cost or loss. Name your own price, and if it's reasonable, we'll take it. Hurry if you want first choice, because when it's gone, it's gone. Name your own price. Bring your truck or trailer and take it away and say bye-bye forever to Woodworks Northwest in Delta Park, Clackamas, and Tigard. Come name your own price.
Aaron Brockovich on the power of juries.
It's
part of our system that we as people get to make a decision.
Erin Brockovich knows when corporations sacrifice safety for profits and government fails to protect us, we rely on the power of juries.
A jury I can accept because it's a pool of people who are just like me.
By serving on juries, you can create positive change.
Believe in yourself. Believe in the power of people.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Journal Report. In this week's cover story, have you ever been in a police lineup or had someone follow you from state to state on a family vacation? You may not think you have, but the unthinkable is becoming a reality for many unsuspecting Americans. Barbara Pinto investigates how new advances in technology are invading more than your privacy.
You expect to be watched at the airport, even at the ATM. But Connecticut resident James Turner never expected this.
I was tracked across 7 states. It's an eerie feeling, eerie, scary feeling.
Tracked and fined. Back in October, Turner rented a van from Acme Rent-A-Car in New Haven for a 2-day trip to Virginia. But when he stopped for gas the next day, Turner's debit card wouldn't work. A phone call to the bank found that Acme had deducted $450 from Turner's account for speeding.
They told me that their vehicles were GPS equipped and that they tracked me 3 times and they charged me $150 each time.
Turner was never stopped by a state trooper, never ticketed. Didn't matter. Now he's filed a small claims case and plans to file civil suit for invasion of privacy.
I think before any company does that, there's got to be full disclosure that they can locate you 24 hours a day. They know your whereabouts 24 hours a day.
The system may be capable of that, but we don't do that. We have it set so it only alarms if you go over 80 miles an hour or you leave the continental United States. If you can act within those perimeters, nobody's watching you, nobody knows where you went, and there's no record kept of it.
But that may not be so. This printout James Turner received tracked him going 78 in Virginia. Advances in technology that can not only pinpoint where you are, but who you are. In Tampa, Florida's Ybor City, the nightlife district, 36 surveillance cameras keep an eye out for rowdy revelers. And that's not all. A computer program puts everyone here, everyone, in an electronic police lineup, instantly analyzing faces in the crowd to see if they match a database of criminal suspects and missing children.
If they're actively wanted, then yes, we're going to seek to actively arrest them pursuant to the orders that are out from the courts.
This technology, manufactured by New Jersey company Visionics, was used at the Super Bowl last year. And in East London, the same system is credited with cutting crime by 1/3.
I really believe with a proper understanding of how the technology works, people will see this as safety enhancing.
A number of other American cities, Attic won't say which, are now interested in this system. But its ability to scan people at random, checking thousands of non-criminals, has privacy advocates fearing Big Brother.
Police wouldn't be allowed to conduct this kind of mass identification on the streets using their hands and their eyes. They shouldn't be allowed to conduct it using high technology.
In New York City alone, the ACLU estimates there are 2,397 public and private security cameras monitoring roadways, sidewalks, parks, storefronts, and intersections. Some snap pictures of traffic infractions, sending the image along with a ticket to the owner of the car, assuming that's who's driving. But that assumption is just one of many now coming under question as courts try to legislate the line between high-tech law enforcement and personal privacy.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle here. The problem is that we don't have any legal construct at this point that defines how these technologies can be used.
Right now, some states require users of surveillance cameras to post signs. But for now, the legal system may have trouble keeping pace with technology. Just look at the case of James Turner and the Acme Rent-A-Car company.
In this case, it was a Canadian satellite that tracked Mr. Turner. So even if we got to the point where the U.S. government regulated the satellite use, there's nothing to stop Canada, Mexico, the U.K., or other companies from letting you use their satellites for the same purposes.
And that is just one of the many, many legal complications that come along with trying to regulate this brand new technology.
You know, Barb, in the case of Mr. Turner, who was fined by the rental company, number one, is that legal? And number two, don't other rental car companies have the GPS systems in their cars as well?
Yes, they do. Many rental car companies use the GPS systems, but just for tracking lost cars or helping lost drivers get directions. Most major rental car companies say they have no plans to find speeders using this system. As for Mr. Turner, the Connecticut Attorney General believes what Acme is doing is illegal, and the Attorney General told us he plans to ask for an injunction in court next month.
All right, we'll see what happens. Barbara Pinto, thanks very much.
Sure.
Well, you do not need a GPS system to find that perfect bottle of Chardonnay. A little later in the show, how to identify some of the best tasting values. And just ahead, have you checked your 401k statements lately?
I was getting returns of maybe 20% on the money I was investing.
Not anymore. We'll show you why most of us lost money in our 401ks last year and how you can start making money again. That's coming up next.
Buying or selling a home can mean the weight of the world on your shoulders. A RE/MAX agent can lighten that load. Averaging more than 13 years experience, RE/MAX agents have the knowledge and expertise to free you of paperwork and do everything in their power to make hassles disappear. Our agents work the kind of practical magic that lets you take your life to the next level. When you're ready to buy or sell, call RE/MAX.
Scientific studies have shown that marijuana use can be prevented by taking your kids to this clinic. Get the word on how to share your kids' activities and keep them drug-free. Get the book.
Your local Jeep dealers encourage you to talk to your children about drugs. Give them the foundation they need to make good choices.
Few things offer the elegance and beauty found at the KeyBank Country Classic. Bring the entire family to see the power, speed, and grace of world-class equestrian athletes and take part in the most celebrated stop on the Oregon Horse Circuit. Friday, July 13th is Kids Day with pony rides, a petting zoo, face painting, and more. Don't miss the KeyBank Country Classic July 11th through the 15th, a benefit for the Portland Children's Dental Clinic. Take Wilsonville exit 283 and head west 3.5 miles to the beautiful Hunter Creek Farm.
Even though you might not know Delphi Automotive Systems, we're probably in your garage right now. You see, chances are we're in your vehicles, having developed the first in-dash car radio and production airbag, not to mention the future innovations that will revolutionize the way you drive. With 36 countries and growing, we're practically everywhere. Even though you may not see us. Delphi Automotive Systems, driving tomorrow's technology.
Are you ready to ask your doctor about Viagra?
I'm ready. Ready as anybody can be. I'm ready. Ready as anybody can be.
Get ready. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
Well, I'm ready for you. I hope you're ready for me.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Consuelo Mack. Is your 401k not okay? Well, for the first time in their 20-year history, the popular 401k retirement plans lost money last year, despite thousands of dollars in new contributions. Jane Wells explains what happened and what you can do about it in this week's Money Matters.
Robin Samuel is a corporate attorney who's been investing in a 401k retirement plan for 7 years.
For the first several years, it was great. I mean, I was getting returns of maybe 20% on the money I was investing.
Those days came to an abrupt end a year ago as American workers woke up to the reality that their 401ks may not make them all gazillionaires by the time they're ready to play a little pool in retirement. A new report says that last year, for the first time ever, 401k assets lost money. The average account was $41,919, down more than 10% from the $46,700 the year before.
You have to look at this over the long term and know that the markets will generally go up over time.
Exactly, say financial planners who watch as clients sometimes make mistakes with their 401k contributions. Too many options to choose between. Too much emphasis on stocks, especially technology.
What we see is the 401k has become more complex, and we've also seen less advice, and that's really not a good recipe for individual investors.
But I've since learned the errors of my ways, and now I have my financial advisor help me decide which are the best investment choices for me.
What you really need to look at is what your time to need is and your comfort level with risk. Every provider out there, to some degree, will offer you model portfolios. If you're closer to retirement, perhaps you don't want to be as heavily weighted to equities as a general rule.
And what advice are they giving? Rebalance your portfolio back to the more traditional 60 to 70% stocks or stock funds, with 30 to 40% of your money going into bonds. Over the last 5 years, this kind of portfolio would have averaged a nice 10% annual return. Other advice, diversify between small, large, and mid-cap companies. Most importantly, don't slow down your contributions or you won't have enough to retire on. And also, don't do this.
Please don't put all your money in the company stock. People did that. We saw AT&T go down the drain. People had lots of money in Lucent. It's gone down the drain.
When I see a company stock exceed anywhere between 5 and 10% of the 401k portfolio, I will advise my clients to buy no more.
One other bit of advice, if you want to go dancing into your retirement, Tom Grismala says do not put your 401k contributions right now into money market accounts. You'll currently get a lower return than the rate of inflation, and this is before you've even been taxed, which you will eventually. Bottom line, diversify and be patient. In Los Angeles, I'm Jane Wells for the Wall Street Journal Report.
Good advice. Meanwhile, Congress may give investors a hand with their 401k planning. A House bill would allow employers to give workers access to professional investment advice, as long as the advisors disclose their fees and any potential conflicts of interest. The bill clarifies that the investment providers, not employers, are legally liable for that advice. Right now, employers are not allowed to provide any guidance. We have a new stock picker this week who has some advice for you. Mike Stead, who manages the $624 million SIFE Trust Fund. The fund has a 5-year annual average return of about 15%. Now, this week, for his inaugural pick, Stead chooses to deposit his pick in the bank, U.S. Bank Corp.
I like it because it has recently made acquisitions. It bought Nova, which solidifies its position as the number 3 company in the payments business. Also, it recently bought 20 branches from Pacific Century Financial in Southern California. U.S. Bancorp is the 8th largest financial institution in the United States and has a market cap of about $44 billion.
And U.S. Bancorp trades for about $23 a share, and Stead would withdraw his money from the banking company if it hit a price target of $32 a share in the next 12 months. You don't have to take a lot of money out of the bank to buy a good bottle of wine.
Our favorites actually were far below $20.
Next, the Wall Street Journal's wine columnists pop the corks on the best Chardonnays at a price that's right.
The investment pick of the week was brought to you by Merrill Lynch.
What if every market operated like the stock market? Would price swings leave you paralyzed with indecision? Or would you chase whatever's hot at the moment? A Merrill Lynch financial advisor will help you develop a disciplined plan based on your risk tolerance and investment goals, so you can become a smarter investor, not an impulsive one.
The pictures of your life, of your family, of your favorite moments, they mean so much. But these pictures can save your life. They were taken by GE's new Discovery LS. It's a breakthrough in cancer detection that combines CT scanning with a revolutionary technology called PET. It can not only pinpoint the location of a tumor, it can tell immediately if it's cancerous or not, all without the trauma and expensive surgery. The good news is, you're the picture of health. So now, there can be more pictures like these. GE's revolutionary Discovery LS. Ask your doctor about it.
Today I
met a dragon that can fly. I met an alien on a spaceship.
Hey kids, want to explore the world? Head to your Multnomah County Library and sign up for Summer Reading, brought to you by News Channel 8.
One lucky reader wins a family vacation to experience Disney's California Adventure, the Disney theme park next door to Disneyland Park in California. Winners fly courtesy of Southwest Airlines and stay at a Disneyland Resort Hotel.
In this book, I met a zebra. I met a big dog.
Go to your Multnomah County Library for details.
I was in an accident and had to go in an ambulance. It hurt a lot, and I was real scared. Daddy looked scared, too.
Where are they taking it?
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Accident victims, cancer patients, children. Please call the American Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE, because someone needs you right now.
The girl. Was it you who saved my life?
Welcome back. It's time for a summer toast, and the Wall Street Journal's wine columnists have just made their selections of the best Chardonnays under $20 a bottle.
Chardonnay is a kind of a grape. It's the greatest white grape in the world.
And Chardonnay wines are by far the most popular wine in America. American wine drinkers bought a record 400 million bottles of Chardonnay last year, far outstripping their nearest competitor, Sauvignon Blanc's 60 million bottles, and more than all the Merlots, Cabernets, and every other varietal red wines combined. But with hundreds of Chardonnays to choose from, how do you choose the best ones at a reasonable price? The Wall Street Journal's husband and wife wine columnist team bought 50 Chardonnays from well-known wineries, all under $20 a bottle, and popped the corks for a blind taste test to come up with their top picks.
It's fun. A lot of work, but it's fun. Someone's got to do it.
We were surprised that our favorites actually were far below $20. In some cases, they were below $10.
In fact, they found 9 that achieved their good to very good grade, but their top 3 all fell in the $10 a bottle range. Their number 3 choice, the 1999 R.H. Phillips Vineyard Chardonnay, comes in under $10.
The same names keep turning up, and R.H. Phillips, we like their wines.
In second place, Louis M. Martini Winery's 1999 Chardonnay for $11.
Very friendly wine, nothing scary here, just a delightful, fruit-filled wine.
And their number 1 pick, Bogle Vineyard's 1999 Chardonnay, which comes in at just about a perfect $10 a bottle, that is.
It's just so juicy. It's crisp on your tongue. It's full flavored. It's got nutmeg in it and cinnamon and all those wonderful woody tastes that we love in a wine, yet it's fresh.
But Gator and Brecher note that Chardonnays have paid a price for their rising popularity over the years.
We tasted a lot of lousy Chardonnays. They tasted as though they were paint-by-number wines. You know, you take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they're basically tasted like they were concocted in a lab. That's yucky.
And remember, price doesn't always buy quality.
What we say in our column is don't settle. You can get a better Chardonnay than you're drinking for maybe less money right now on the shelves.
If you like Chardonnay but want to try something new, Brecher and Gator recommend trying a foreign Chardonnay from Australia or a Macon from France. They're all from the same grape, but give your taste buds a different experience. And that is the last sip of this edition of the Wall Street Journal Report. Thanks for watching. Join us next week. We're going to show you why daycare is moving into the night, why energy stocks have lost their zest, and we'll have the investment pick of the week. Until then, have a great week and make it a productive one.
News Channel 8, winner of the Associated Press Award for Best Newscast.
The game is basketball. The team, you and 2 friends. Your strategy to beat the other 3. News Channel 8 and Canby Rotary present Nothing But Net, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament July 28th and 29th at Canby. Benefiting local, regional, and international charities. Enter by logging on to nothingbutnet.canby.com or call 263-5480 or to stop by any participating Canby merchant. Nothing But Net 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Brought to you by News Channel 8, your official station of summer.
You're such a sad little 3.
Having opportunities to serve and be involved. I mean, it's what